Okay, so updates on last time, or I guess my last video and everything I said I was gonna do. Um, Started working on the website and pretty much finished it. However, um, I'm bad at staying on task, I guess, or plans change because I've started a different website, which is instead of website for you know my company that I was gonna try to make. I ended up making kind of a portfolio website for myself, just to help with advertising, myself, things in the future, things like that. Which I'd recommend anyone who's struggling with like a job search, especially right now with everything that sucks. Making like a portfolio website or just a website that goes more in depth on what you've done with pictures, whatever have you. It can tremendously boost what you're going for. Um, because you got to think, not everyone, barely anyone's gonna have that. So if you're the only person that has that, it's gonna make a massive difference. So I spent most of my time on that. Um, Started advertising it on all my career stuff. So that's something. Yeah, it's just gonna help you stand out. I mean, I had kind of done this in the past, um, and I'm doing it again. It's smart to it. If you have the time, and you should spend like 15 to 30 minutes on it a day until it's done. You can use websites like Weebly, Squarespace, Wix, whatever, to make it and just put it on your resume, your LinkedIn, your Indeed, whatever. Just if people are interested in you, they're gonna look at it and get kind of more of a feel of if you're what they want. Um, with that being said, I spent most of my time on that versus the website for the company I was thinking about starting. Um, there were a couple reasons for that. One of them being that I'm not sure if I want to go ahead with the original idea I had for trying to start my own company. Um, as I kind of evaluate my time more with family, other things I'm planning on doing, work activities, everything. It's a lot different once you start planning it out. So I'm on the fence of two ideas that I want to try. On one hand, I have the company that I've been talking about trying to make, which is more of a kind of a provided service to an extent. It's not like I'm selling something. It's someone would pay me and I'd go complete a task for them, or I'd have to hire an employee to go complete a task for them, which is great, and I still am interested in that. But it's more time consuming. Obviously, that's more time in my day, other people's days that I have to take up and have time for. Um, New idea that I've kind of come up with, stemming from again, um, 4 Hour Work Week book that I've been reading that I'm thinking about trying because I have freaking brain blast that either an idea that's going to fail or be incredible. I might try to make a product and see if people will buy it. And again, this book is incredible for things like this so far. So I'm probably gonna, I'm leaning more into that than doing my service company, just because that's easier. I could have a manufacturer make some, test products, have me and a couple buddies or whomever try them, see if they work, if they suck, whatever. Change what I need to change. Go back to the manufacturer, make a couple, and website, domain, register the business, advertising, boom, give it a shot, see if people buy it, and if they do, let's say I end up selling something for, I don't know, let me pull out a calculator right here, because I for some reason can't think of this off the top of my head. Let's say, even if I sold 10 of this thing a month, um, I don't know, 10 of it a month at $80 a piece, so 80 times 10, $800. Um, after taxes and everything, that's probably going to go down to 500. But even at that, $500 a month times 12, that's an extra $6,000 a year. If your product borderline sucks and almost no one buys it, that's still $6,000. So I might give that a shot. And if I advertise it right, let's say you sold 50 products a month, at $80 a pop. So, 80 times 50 is 4,000 times 12. So that's, you know, $48,000 after taxes. It's probably like 36. That's like $36,000 a year. That's pretty good. And that's way less work than having a job where I have to call people, go out to sites and things like that. So that's what I'm leaning towards. We'll see if it works. I'll have to outsource a lot of stuff on that. So, but that's again, that's what we're leaning towards on that. So, I will say, promised myself to complete the website for the company, failed, made a different website instead, and ideas have kind of been changing. So I'm not going to discredit myself too much on that. Main thing I've been lacking, like I said last time, planners are freaking awesome, as old as that makes me sound. I'm doing better with it, for sure. Like last week, I did all my workouts, all my stretching, ran, worked out, stretched, drank ample water when I needed to, hung out with family every single day. The two spotty ones last week for me have been reading and studying. Mostly because there's probably a lot of people that can relate to this. Struggle right now is you go to work, you get home, it's do whatever you need to do with your family, things like that. By that time, it's probably already, dinner time or past dinner time. And then you've only got so much time to hang out with your family or be more present. Go relax for a little bit before you have to go to bed, or study and do basically more work. It's hard. It is. And I'm struggling with that because I'm staying up really late, obviously, which is why these videos are filmed in the dark now. It's hard to find time. It really is. And that's kind of where I've been struggling because, I'll put wife goes to bed. I've still got everyone else in the family to kind of watch over since they're so little. Like I'm up late, but it's been hard for me to get motivated at 1 a.m. Hey, I'm gonna read 30 pages of this book and then I'm gonna study for an hour for this. It's gonna be great. That's something that is gonna be my new goal for this week. I want, like I've shown on my little planner, I want these little, that's hard to see, but these little check boxes with all the dates. I want those to be completely filled out across the board this week. That would be freaking awesome. And then I just got to keep that momentum going because it's going to honestly be annoying sometimes trying to do this at night because, again, I'm going to be tired. But I think if I can get a coffee or something like that for just a little bit, just get the energy in, read, do my studying, take my notes, I can get this done with everything else I'm doing. So I can workouts, drinking my water, spending time with family, studying, reading, and still have an hour, 2 hours to kind of relax and chill in the day, which would be obviously preferred because everyone needs downtime. Old friend of mine had told me, who is now passed away, but I used to be like a workaholic, and one of the last things he even told me was, it's great to be dedicated to something, but just make sure you leave time to have fun, which is very true. You never know what's going to happen. So as long as you're still getting at least like a little bit of time every day to kind of enjoy yourself, that's probably the goal. I wouldn't recommend spending the entire day wasting time having fun, just because you won't progress nearly as much as all the other superstars in the world. But make sure you get it in. It's important. So that's the main topics for today, I guess. So to recap, filled the website, made a different website, more career focused for just jobs and self. Need to catch up on reading and studying and completing my planner fully, and that's going to be that'll be the primary goals for this week, I guess. And you know what? Better yet, let's because I noticed a lot of people struggle with this too. Better yet, I'm going to go ahead. This week's goal is going to be to schedule one of my certification exams that I need to take, and I've been kind of not studying for as much as I need to. I'm just going to go ahead and study it so the pressure makes me study. I think that helps a lot. It's kind of like how when you are in high school or whenever, and you last minute cram study for a test, or you have a paper due at midnight and it's 11 o'clock and you're able to knock it out of the park within like an hour with the pressure on your shoulders. It's like that. That is actually a very helpful tool that people use. So I'm going to try to use that, see if that doesn't help me study and I can, get this out of the way. So we'll check back up next week and see how we're doing, or if we're still failing and under the water. But I've got faith. We can do this.